Hello everyone, um, I'm the producer of this video and my name is Brian. This video is made according to the requirements of the course of this semester, Project Innovation Management. Based on the top flavor of real thing, the research is carried out on the basis of a theory combined with the actual observation and the record. And the production is made for an idea of new meaning of project innovation management. The video is inspired by news from Natural Resource Wales, 20 February 2020, working in near rivers and the temporary measures for flooding in Wales. I was inspired to make this video due to the installation of street lights near the top river following the recent surge in water flow and the robbery. Um, this video will be divided into 5 sections. The first part is the introduction part section, which mainly gives a brief introduction to top flavor and a basic introduction to the main innovation contents of this project. The second part is the principles section, which briefly introduces the basic principles and the guiding methods on which the project is built. And the third part is analysis section, which mainly includes the design process, status quo, and the feasibility analysis. The first part is development section, in which introduces the actual content of project and the development of process of innovation in detail. Finally, a summary of the project. Okay, first we can see there are 4 images. 3 of which were taken from real scene from top river by phone, and the last one is a Google Map model from Google Map app. This is our today's category list of this video and also the carrying body of this project's innovation management top river. First, let me give you a brief introduction of top river. And first of all, the top river is 64 km long and is formed at the confluence of the rivers Taff, and the river flows from the north to the south of the city, and such as in the middle 1800s, Isabel Kingdom Burlu came up with plans to divert to the river Taff to the west, away from its old course around Taff Castle. The river now flows like to Cuddy Arms Park and the Principality Stadium. It also allowed Cardiff Central Station to be built in an area that had previously been prone to flooding. What's more, the river Taff used to be heavily polluted by industry along its banks. In recent years, the water quality has improved and it's becoming one of the best rivers for salmon and trout in Wales. The river is important for migratory fish, otters, wildfowl, and bankside vegetation, and acts as a major wildlife corridor. Bats, otters, Atlantic salmon, trout, glass snakes, and kingfishers are amongst the diverse species recorded in and around the river Taff, site of importance or for nature conservation. So let's get into our today's subject content of innovation management project. After we had the basic understanding of Taff River, first, from the left of the photograph, we can see that according to the International Energy Association shown on the data of electricity generation in 2007, currently the capacity of power still rely on with coal power generation, new energy resources, and nuclear power, while with the development of technology is making a lot of effective progress. But it seems like impossible to replace coal in the short term. So we should start from many aspects with more new technologies and innovation to face the challenge of energy problem. So in the first place, there is a question, will energy ever run out? Let's look at the upper right side. In the brief history of mankind, written by the Israel writers Yuval Harari, a point of view is put forward that energy exhaustion is an impossible thing. The energy is limited only because of the existing technological limitations of human beings. Namely, it verifies that as far as the energy needed by human beings is concerned, there is no possibility of energy exhaustion because there are many energy resources that we can explore but cannot derive and use due to technology limitations. So in the 21st century, it is becoming an important topic for us to develop new energy by innovations. As we all know, that electricity is the most important energy resources for human beings. With the progress of the times, there are not only quantitative and qualitative changes in power generation technology, but also a variety of forms of power generation. What we're going to talk about is China's Three Gorges Dam, the world's largest hydropower station. According to the official data uh, from, uh, from the Three Gorges Dam, by 2018, the dam had generated 1.2 trillion kilowatt hours of electricity and generated about $15 billion in calculative revenue. Fancy that $38 billion invested over the years had paid for itself. Initially construction 1994, put into use 2003. On right side is a simple diagram of a hydropower station. In a simple analysis, the water's gravitational potential energy is used to drive a turbo to spin a generator to generate electricity, which is then transferred to the grid and sent to thousands of homes. So now let's think about how can we make use of our natural resources, the Taft River, to generate the hydroelectric power. How am I going to implement this project if I am a member of Nature Resource Wales? First of all, let's have a basic look at principles and rules that we have to follow in this innovation project. First, what is innovation? Innovation is coming from new thoughts, new idea, that is from the production of the idea to research to development, test, manufacturing, and forced commercial process. It is the ability to transform foresight, knowledge, and the spirit of adventure into wealth. Second, purpose of innovation. In fact, if as an enterprise, the purpose of innovation is actually quite simple. It is to gain the sustainable market competitive advantage. Third point, the classification of innovation. Innovation can be classified according to innovation. There are according to different aspects of angles. Starting from the content of innovation, there are product innovation, process innovation, service innovation, and business model innovation. At the same time, innovation also can be divided into three levels. The first one is incremental innovation, the second one is major breakthrough innovation, and the third one is also known as disruptive innovation, which means to break the original rules. So the innovation we are talking about today is a major breakthrough innovation based on product innovation. So the miniaturization of power generation technology, the application of micro generators to the Taft River. In addition, there are 4 tips that we should know about the innovation. The first one, innovation and invention are 2 different things. The innovation is more related to business, that is to say, the innovation of this project should be related to business profit, that is how to make profits from the electricity generated on the Taft River to maintain this project for a long period of time. Second, the core elements of a successful project innovation, meeting demand, market, and technology, which will be analyzed in detail on the Taft River later. There is also a significance of this river innovation is the use of natural river resources to generate electricity with new technology and management forms to reach objectives. And there will be talking about the process of design and thinking later. So in accordance In accordance with the various principles mentioned above, we will first analyze the demand problem. The demand for innovation in this project, the demand with this we will first analyze the demand problem. Demand for innovation in this project is the demand of human beings for electricity. We know that electricity is relatively more environmental friendly than traditional energy, especially because of the common threat of global warming. Therefore, based on the current form of the development of new environmental protection type of electricity development technology is an important issue. And this is where the